Anthony, you used to live in Ottawa. What are some of your favorite memories of our nation's capital?
You're right, I did live in Ottawa when I was attending Carleton University, but my favorite Ottawa memories come from my most recent trips to Ottawa for work with my good buddy Dave Brown.
That was before my time at AMI. So what stands out for you?
We did yoga on the Hill.
The Hill, meaning Parliament Hill?
Yeah, can you believe that there's something as relaxing to do on the Hill that takes place outside of the epicenter of political power for our country?
No, I really can't. But Dave Brown is bringing us back to Parliament Hill with another story from our AMI Ottawa team. Roll it.
On any given day, locals and tourists alike are treated to the delightful sounds of the Peace Tower Carillon. Let's go up the tower to find out how this musical magic comes to life. Dr. Andrea McCready is the Dominion Carillonner of Canada. She commands the great collection of bells that form the Carillon from a playing room embedded deep inside the Peace Tower. Can you describe a little bit about where this room is and kind of the significance and kind of the exclusive access we're getting to being here?
Well, if you were on the lawn in front of Centre Block on Parliament Hill and staring at the Peace Tower, the Carillon takes up probably about a third of the tower, starting about halfway up, and the playing room is embedded in the belfry. So the playing room itself is about 2/3 of the way up the tower. Below me are 6 huge bells, and between me and the observation deck are another 47 bells, getting ever smaller as their pitch gets higher.
Can you break that down a little bit about sort of the technical side of the different parts of the instrument and how they'll kind of connect together?
Well, each culture has its own bell tradition. The Carillon developed in the lowlands of Europe, what is now the Netherlands, Belgium, northern France. And they were located in towers, and they actually evolved from the clock mechanism. The bells are bolted to a frame. They do not swing. Only the clapper inside the bell moves, and it's not dangling free as it would on a swinging bell. It's held about 2 inches from the inside lip of the bell by a wire transmission system. Then the wires collect and come into the playing room where we are right now and attach to the keyboard.
The keyboard is a series of wooden handles that jut out from the Carillon.
All 53 bells have their corresponding keys on the keyboard in the manuals, which are arranged in 2 rows. The top row is grouped in 3s and 2s and 3s and 2s like black notes on a piano, and the bottom row is flat, which would be the white notes. In addition, from about halfway down, they attach not only to the manual, but are coupled to the pedals. So I can play the lowest 29 bells with my feet. It looks like an organ because it has a pedal board, but it's closer to the piano because it's a percussion instrument. And so the more or less force you give the strike of the key or the pedal, the louder or softer it is.
When Mackenzie King did refer to it as the voice of the nation, is that something you think about when you're performing for people who come from all over the world to hear the magical music that comes out of the Peace Tower?
Oh, indeed. I consider that the biggest responsibility I have after perhaps playing things pretty well. I don't want to mess things up. So yes, the voice that comes out of there, I want it to be, musically correct. But the planning of repertoire is a huge part of my job. I play over 200 recitals a year.
I just have one more question for you, and again, it's kind of about you a little bit, because you recently became a Canadian citizen. Does that change your perspective at all when you're in here making music for Canadians and tourists? Or is it just kind of, you're already working so hard, it hasn't really influenced you too much?
When I won the competition to become Dominion Carillonneur, I knew of it being the voice of the nation, and I felt it really was important that I become a Canadian citizen producing this music out of the Peace Tower. And I had a dream that at some point I would play O Canada on Canada Day and then trot out of the tower and raise my hand and swear in as a Canadian citizen. And of all Canada Days that happened, and it took 8.5 years of process to do it, I'm so delighted that it happened for Canada's 150th.
Well, Dr. McCready, we're very lucky to have you as a member of our country now, and we're so fortunate to have you share this amazing music with our citizens and our visitors every day. We can't thank you enough for taking the time with us.
Well, thank you so much for your interest, and it's an honor and a privilege and always a delight.
Is it horrible to admit I had no idea Canada had its own Dominion Carillioner?
No, or that I didn't know what a carillon was.
Well, that's one of the perks of the gig, Victoria. Always learning new things.
Ah, that's how you became so wise. I'm starting to clue in.
A big thank you to Dr. McCready for letting the AMI crew inside the Peace Tower.
And congratulations on becoming a Canadian citizen. You can really tell how passionate she is about sharing her music with Canadian citizens and visitors.